In a world engineered to shatter your focus, your attention has become the most valuable currency, and you're probably going broke. Every notification, every endless scroll, every hit of instant gratification is a tiny crack in the foundation of your will. You feel it, don't you? That nagging sense of being pulled in 1,000 directions, of knowing you're capable of more, but feeling stuck in a cycle of distraction and procrastination. The life you dream of is being buried under an avalanche of trivial nonsense. But what if you could build an inner fortress, an unshakable core of discipline so powerful that the chaos of the modern world couldn't lay a finger on it? What if you could command your own mind with the same authority that the greatest leaders in history commanded armies? Almost 2,000 years ago, the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius didn't just rule a vast empire, he mastered the empire within. While facing war, plague, and betrayal, he cultivated a level of self-discipline that is now legendary. His private journal, which we know as Meditations, wasn't written for you and me. It was his personal training manual, a blueprint for building an internal empire of reason, focus, and calm. In this video, we're going to unpack his 10 timeless principles, translated for our age of digital distraction. These aren't just high-minded theories, they are concrete, actionable steps you can start using today to conquer social media addiction, defeat procrastination, and build that internal empire for yourself. This is the Stoic path to unshakable self-discipline. Principle 1. Discover your purpose. As he wrestled with the comfort of his warm bed at dawn, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for?" That question is the bedrock of Stoic discipline. Why bother with discomfort? Why resist temptation? Why do the hard thing? The answer has to be because you have a purpose. In our world of endless options and cheap pleasures, a life without a mission is a life that's scattered. Without a compelling why, your self-discipline runs on an empty tank. It's easy to get lost in doom scrolling or binge watching when you don't have a clear, meaningful destination. Purpose is your compass when the storms of distraction hit. It's the engine that drives you when motivation disappears. For Marcus, it was serving the Roman people. For you, it might be building a business, creating art, being an incredible parent, or mastering a skill. The scale doesn't matter. The clarity does. So how do you actually do this? First, take 10 minutes every morning to journal. Ask yourself, what is my main duty today as the person I want to become? This isn't about your to-do list. It's about your character. Your goal is to align your daily tasks with a bigger vision. Does this action serve my ultimate purpose, or is it just a distraction? Second, at the end of each week, do a simple review. Look at how you spent your time and ask, did my actions this week reflect my mission? This simple habit forges an internal drive that external rewards can never hope to match. It's the first, most critical step to making sure you're climbing the right mountain. Principle 2, the dichotomy of control. Of all the Stoic ideas, this one might be the most life-altering. Marcus put it with beautiful simplicity. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Our world is a fire hose of information, and events we have zero control over. The stock market, politics, what other people think of you. Hitting every red light on your way to work. The Stoics teach that wasting even a single ounce of energy on these things is the fastest way to sabotage your discipline. Every time you get angry about a rude comment online or anxious about a news headline, you are literally giving away your power. You're letting the chaos of the outside world dictate your inner peace. Self-discipline is impossible when you're constantly reacting. True strength comes from drawing a hard line in the sand. On one side, things you can't control. On the other, the things you can. And that list is short and sweet. Your thoughts, your judgments, your choices, your effort, and your attitude. That's it. That is your empire. Here's how you start reclaiming that power. First, begin your day with a mental sorting exercise. As you think about the day ahead, explicitly name 3 things that are entirely within your control. For example, I will control my attitude in the meeting. I will control my effort at the gym. I will control my choice to eat a healthy lunch. This primes your brain to focus on what you can do. Second, practice the 10-second pause. When you feel a jolt of anger or anxiety from something external, a nasty email, a change of plans, just stop. Breathe for 10 seconds. In that gap, ask yourself, is this mine to control? If the answer is no, your job is to consciously let it go and focus only on your response. As Marcus said, external things are not the problem. It's your assessment of them, which you can erase right now. Principle 3. Consistency is king. We have this idea that self-discipline comes from some heroic burst of motivation. The Stoics knew better. Discipline isn't about intensity, it's about consistency. It's about the simple, unglamorous act of showing up, especially on the days you don't feel like it. Marcus reminded himself, you must build up your life action by action and be content if each one achieves its goal. No one can keep you from this. Your life today is simply the sum of your past actions. Your future life is the sum of your present ones. Procrastination lives in the gap between knowing what to do and doing it. The Stoics tell us to close that gap by focusing only on the single action in front of you, then the next and the next. Discipline isn't a lightning strike, it's a habit you forge in the quiet, repetitive act of just doing the work. Let's make this real. First, embrace the power of streaks. Use a simple habit tracker or a calendar and put an X on every day you complete a key discipline, writing 500 words, meditating, not eating junk food. The simple desire not to break the chain is a shockingly powerful motivator. Second, use the 5-minute rule. When you're dreading a task, commit to doing it for just 5 minutes. Getting started is almost always the hardest part. You can stop after 5 minutes if you want, but you'll almost never want to. You're not trying to build a perfect, disciplined life in one day. You're just trying to win this single action, then the next one. That's how an empire, both internal and external, is built. Principle 4. Practice voluntary hardship. Our world is obsessed with comfort. Temperature-controlled houses, food delivered to our door, entertainment on demand. But the Stoics knew a profound truth. A life of constant ease creates a fragile soul. The philosopher Seneca advised setting aside a few days each month to practice poverty, eating simple food and wearing basic clothes, just to ask, is this the condition I so feared? You train for life's unavoidable difficulties while things are still easy. Think of voluntary hardship as a vaccine against adversity. By taking small, controlled doses of discomfort, you build the resilience to handle the big, uncontrolled hardships life will inevitably throw at you. When you know you can handle being uncomfortable, you stop being afraid of it. And when you're not afraid of hard things, procrastination loses its grip on you. You become anti-fragile, ready to forge some resilience. First, schedule one discomfort day a month. This could mean taking only cold showers, eating plain and simple meals, sleeping on the floor, or just turning off the AC for a day. It's a powerful reality check of how little you actually need and how strong you really are. Second, on a weekly basis, pick one small comfort and consciously skip it. Maybe it's your morning latte or using the elevator. Take the stairs. Endure a moment of boredom without reaching for your phone. By regularly choosing the harder path in small ways, you're training your mind for the big moments. You're teaching yourself that discomfort isn't a stop sign, it's a sign that you're getting stronger. Principle 5. Take full responsibility. A disciplined mind is a mind that takes responsibility. The modern world sometimes encourages us to blame our problems on anything but ourselves, our circumstances, our past, other people. The Stoics saw this as the ultimate surrender of power. To blame something external is to declare yourself helpless. Self-discipline cannot grow in a mind that sees itself as a victim. Why would you try to change if you believe the problem is always out there? The second you take 100% responsibility for your life, not for what happens to you, but for how you respond, is the second you reclaim your power. A setback is no longer an injustice, it's feedback. A failure isn't a final verdict, it's a lesson. This mindset is the key to relentless forward progress. Here's the game plan. First, try a no complaining rule for 1 week. Whenever you catch yourself about to complain, stop. Ask yourself one question: what is one action I can take to improve this situation? This shifts you from a passive state of complaint to an active state of problem solving. Second, reframe your setbacks. When you fail, instead of saying, "This happened to me," say, "This happened and I will learn from it." Lost a job? Your new job is to polish your resume. Botched a project? Your new task is to figure out what went wrong so you can get it right next time. Taking ownership isn't about blaming yourself, it's about empowering yourself. It's recognizing that no matter what, your response is always your choice. Principle 6, practice delayed gratification. Our world is a dopamine slot machine. Social media likes, fast food, one-click shopping, it's all designed for the instant hit of pleasure. This constant stream of easy gratification destroys your ability to tolerate effort and wait for a meaningful reward, which is the very soul of self-discipline. Seneca warned that even our own best interests, when overindulged, become a weakness. A mind that's a slave to impulse can't be disciplined. It will always choose the immediate comfort of a distraction over the long-term satisfaction of an accomplishment. To build real discipline, you have to intentionally train your ability to say, "later." You have to prove to your own mind that you're the one in charge, not its fleeting desires. You have to learn to be unmoved by your cravings, to treat them like a passing cloud rather than a command. Let's get practical. First, use the tomorrow rule for all non-essential wants. See a new gadget you have to have? Put it on a list and wait 24 hours. Feel the urge for junk food? Tell yourself you can have it tomorrow. This tiny gap between impulse and action is where discipline is born. You'll be amazed how many urgent desires just vanish overnight. Second, use a technique like the Pomodoro method. Work in focused 25-minute sprints with zero distractions. The reward, checking your phone, getting a snack, only comes after you've put in the work. This trains your brain to associate reward with sustained effort, not with random impulse. Every time you resist an impulse, you cast a vote for your future, disciplined self. Principle 7, disregard the naysayers. Marcus Aurelius gave himself some blunt advice. Don't waste the rest of your time here worrying about other people unless it affects the common good. He knew that chasing external validation is a trap. In the age of social media, that trap is bigger and more dangerous than ever. We're constantly bombarded with the judgments, opinions, and highlight reels of others, which breeds doubt, envy, and a crippling fear of being criticized. If your actions are guided by what other people might think, you aren't free. You're a puppet, and the crowd is pulling your strings. A disciplined life demands an internal scorecard. You must be guided by your own principles and purpose, not by the applause or the boos from the audience. Anyone who tries to achieve something meaningful will be met with skepticism. You have to protect your focus from that noise. Here are your steps. First, do a social media audit. This week, go through your feeds and mute, unfollow, or block anyone who consistently drains your energy, makes you feel envious, or causes you to doubt yourself. Be absolutely ruthless about curating your inputs. Your mental space is sacred. Defend its borders. Second, adopt a new response to criticism. Instead of getting defensive or trying to explain yourself, let your actions be your only argument. If someone doubts your new goal, don't argue. Let them see you putting in the work. As Marcus said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Your discipline is demonstrated, not debated. Principle 8, model yourself on people you admire. The Stoics believed one of the fastest ways to improve was to study the lives of great people. Seneca had a great line for this. Without a ruler to do it against, you can't make crooked straight. We need a standard to measure ourselves against. Willpower is great, but it's not always enough. We need role models to show us what's possible. Discipline is contagious. When you see others acting with focus, courage, and integrity, it gives you a blueprint. This person could be a historical figure like Marcus Aurelius, a mentor in your life, or even a fictional character who embodies the traits you want to build. By keeping these examples in your mind, you create a standard that pulls you up to a higher level of behavior. So how do you put this into practice? First, choose one primary role model for your journey. It could be Marcus himself. Read a few pages of meditations each morning. Then, throughout the day, when you face a challenge or a moment of weakness, ask, how would my role model handle this? This simple question instantly lifts you from a mindset of impulse to one of principle. Second, actively seek out disciplined people. Join an online Stoic community, a running club, or a professional group dedicated to excellence. Being around others who are on the same path normalizes the behavior and reinforces your own commitment. You know the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose your models wisely. Principle 9, one of the most powerful ideas in all of philosophy. The obstacle is the way. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Where most people see a roadblock, a problem, or a reason to quit, the Stoic sees an opportunity. An opportunity to practice patience, creativity, courage, or resilience. This isn't just blind optimism, it's a practical framework for turning every negative into a positive, every setback into fuel. A difficult client isn't a problem, they're a chance to practice patience and communication. A bug in your code isn't a frustration, it's a chance to deepen your skills. A sudden injury isn't just a setback, it's a chance to learn about your body and practice acceptance. When you adopt this mindset, nothing can truly stop you, because everything that happens, good or bad, becomes part of your training. Your discipline grows stronger because challenges are no longer excuses to quit. They are the curriculum for your improvement. To make this your default setting, start here. At the end of each day, identify one obstacle you faced. Then, write down one way that obstacle could actually be a hidden opportunity or lesson. A missed deadline is a lesson in time management. A rejected proposal is feedback for a stronger pitch. This retrains your brain to find the upside in every downside. Then when you feel that flash of frustration from a new obstacle, just repeat the mantra. The obstacle is the way. Let it be a trigger to shift you from resistance to strategic action. Principle 10, practice daily reflection. The Stoics were obsessed with self-examination. Seneca would ask himself each night, what bad habit did I curb today? What fault did I resist? In what way am I a better man? Marcus Aurelius's entire Meditations is a monument to daily reflection. Discipline without reflection is just blind action. It's by honestly reviewing our days that we gain the self-awareness we need to actually get better. Living on autopilot is the enemy of discipline. A daily reflection is the antidote. It forces you to pause, hold yourself accountable, and consciously design your next day instead of just stumbling into it. This isn't about harsh self-criticism. It's about gentle, honest course correction. It's the final, crucial piece of the system where you learn from your wins and your losses to get just a little bit better every single day. Here's your final actionable plan. Before you go to sleep, take 5 minutes with a journal. Ask yourself 3 simple questions. 1. What went well today with my discipline? 2. Where did I fall short and why? 3. What's my specific plan to be 1% better tomorrow? This short ritual creates a powerful feedback loop for continuous growth. You can even rate your discipline for the day on a scale of 1 to 10. The number isn't the point, the act of honest assessment is. Over time, you'll see the patterns, fix your weak spots, and celebrate your progress. So there you have it. 10 principles forged in the mind of a Roman emperor, as powerful today as they were 2 millennia ago. These aren't quick fixes. This is a lifelong practice. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Don't try to do all 10 at once, just choose one. One principle that really speaks to you right now and commit to practicing it for 1 week. Maybe it's finding your purpose. Maybe it's focusing on what you can control. Master one, then add another. Build your inner empire, one action at a time. The world will keep inventing new ways to distract you. Your focus will always be under assault, but now you have the tools. You have the blueprint. The Stoics taught that discipline isn't about punishment, it's about freedom. Freedom from your own impulses, freedom from the opinions of others, and the freedom to finally become the person you were meant to be. If this was valuable to you, subscribe for more wisdom on practical philosophy, and in the comments, let us know. Which of these 10 principles will you start practicing today? The journey to building your internal empire begins now. Start with that first action. Your future self is counting on you.